Hey guys, this is Lala Legacy, and welcome back to another episode of Air. So this time, we are gonna start the summer route. Here we go! Summer. Something was falling from the sky. Ooh, I like the little text border. By the time I noticed, it was already far too late for me to dodge it. I became a cushion for something heavy. I fell onto the ground face up. Ouch! What are you doing here? The heavy object spoke. Did you see it? I can only see the sky. How about you get off me first before we talk? The object from the sky got up hastily. I rubbed my bottom and got up slowly. AD 994, summer. Hi, Kanho! It was a girl. She was slender of body. Her shrine maiden attire was made from fine silk. Soundless bells twined around her hair, and for some reason the girl was trying to retie her belt. Our eyes met. What are you looking at? Were you changing in the sky? An awkward silence followed. I've never seen you before. Her eyes moved to the long sword at my waist. Yeah, I just took up my new post this morning. Oh, what's your name? Ryuuya, 8th upper-ranked official. Do you have a surname? I was appointed in a hurry. They haven't had time to give me a surname yet. Where are you from? I lived in Wakasa before I came here. Don't ask me about my lineage. I don't know anything about that. I see. I'll keep that in mind. She focused her attention on tying her belt again. Her fingers looked clumsy. This is one unhandy girl. Not even an apology for falling on me? Why must I apologize to you? You sure lack common courtesy. Shouldn't you introduce yourself after asking for my name? Her hand stopped moving. Do you not know who I am? No, we just met. Really? So there are still people who don't recognize me. She sounded amused. The name's Kanna. The girl introduced herself as such. Kanna? Oh, that's a coincidence. Did I accidentally call her Kano? I meant Kanna. The winged being I was assigned to guard is also called Kanna. You're a quaint man. What do you imagine winged beings to be like? Well, they're the messengers of God. They are called phoenix wings in faraway lands. They're also known as wind wielders. Their archaic name is Sky Truth. They have skin of velvet, eyes of agate, and tears of diamonds. Truly, they are beings from heaven. What flowery description! She looked disgusted. So, what were you doing here? Nothing really. I was just walking around. This place is too big. I need to know this place inside out to carry out my duty properly. That's quite a laudable attitude, she said half-heartedly and resumed adjusting her belt. Kanna. What ill manners to address someone you've just met by their first name! You told me to call you that. So what is it? She didn't seem bothered after all. Do you know your way around here? Well, that goes without saying. Who in this world would be unfamiliar with their own residence? In that case, lead the way. Why should I lead the way? You're familiar with this place. Kanna's eyes widened. I'm going to ask you one more time. Why should I lead the way? Well, there are two reasons. The first reason is that you know this place better than I do. And what's the other reason? It's a good feeling to be escorted by a skinny albeit beautiful lady. She stared at me with a puzzled look. She could not tell if I was praising her or teasing her. I'll escort you. Follow me. That's much appreciated. Oh, by beautiful, I mean passable. Don't get any strange ideas. Shush! We strolled side by side along the walkway overlooking the garden. The garden was a well-tended one, befitting for a noble's residence. Kanna rolled up her cuffs. The clothing is the only decent aspect of this place. Otherwise, it'll be no different from a prison. I'm not even allowed to walk in this garden as I wish. What reason do they have to lock me up here? I can survive on my own. I realized that I had had a grave misunderstanding. The girl's clothes were designed to accommodate the wings on her back. I had been making fun of the winged being as I tasked... Okay, let me start that one over. I had been making fun of the winged being I was tasked to protect all this while. No use crying over spilled milk. I decided to go with the flow. Where do your wings go? Do they get chopped off? Don't be rude. I've kept them away. I look like a regular human most of the time. Oh, is that so? I was expecting to see something special. Sorry to betray your expectation. I'm just a girl. She was indeed far removed from my image of the winged beings. That was not all. I rubbed Kanna's bottom. Oh no. What are you doing? She turned around and glared at me with a beetroot face. Her reaction was no different from that of any girl in the street. Well, your bottom is rather shapely. Do you touch everything that looks shapely to you? Shapely buttocks are hard to come by. I don't get to touch a shapely buttocks as often as I like. I've never seen anyone more insolent than the likes of you! Right back at you. What are you talking about? Didn't you sit on me just now with that buttocks of yours? After looking for something to say, she gave up and simply looked at me with disdain. I forget I have wings when I'm with you. What do you mean? I meant exactly what I said. There was a cozy tatami room deep inside the residence. This is my room. What's wrong? Come in! Even a ruffian like me had second thoughts about entering the room of a noble. Lady Kanna! Whoops, Lady Kanna, please forgive my interruption. A female voice sounded. I knew that it was gonna be her. I immediately reached for the scabbard of my sword with my right hand. Her presence had been completely undetectable. I turned around and saw a court lady holding something in her hands. I let go of my sword and whispered to Kanna. Who is she? She's the only one here who truly serves under me. My name is Uraha. Please feel free to call me as such. She put the item on the floor near her. It was a summer dress made from soft fabric, presumably for Kanna. Lady Kanna, this is... Oh, don't mind him. He's just an intruder. What kind of introduction is that? Did you not touch my bottom? I can't help myself when I feel like touching something. You should have covered up your bottom if you don't want it to be touched. Lady Kanna, just how were you dressed? No, don't listen to him! My bottom was covered, it was definitely covered! After working herself into a frenzy, she noticed that I was smiling. This man is a villain and a fool. Be careful of him, Uraha. She cleared her throat and pretended that nothing had happened. What? What is so amusing? This is the first time I've seen you so embarrassed, Lady Kanna. I'm not! I'm furious! But why is your face red? She blushed even more when she heard that. Teach this man some manners! Kanna ran out of the room after saying that. The sound of her thumping footsteps faded into the distance. Who's going to teach who now? Who knows? After Uraha and I were left alone, I remembered that I had not introduced myself. I'm Ryuuya, 8th upper ranked official. I've just assumed my post here this morning. There was not a single reaction from her. She was staring at my face. That felt awkward. Then she suddenly spoke. Officer, why did you touch Lady Kanna's buttocks? Because she looked no different from an ordinary girl. Quite right indeed. Seemingly assured, she nodded a few times. I've actually wanted to grab those cute buns of hers as well. If I were you, I'd probably have done the same. Her face was calm as those shocking words escaped from her lips. Next time I'll lend you a hand. Please do if such opportunities arise. And they will. The next morning, I received official assignment as the guard of Kanabi no Mikoto. My position was that of a commander. I was responsible for overseeing the security of the shrine. In name, I had been dispatched here by imperial decree, but since there were only 20 guards, I had to attend to various lesser duties myself. My first assignment was watchkeeping. In other words, I was on guard duty. I paired up with a young, solemn-looking samurai to guard the main gate. The lush green mountains of summer surrounded us. An occasional vagrant breeze soothed our sweaty skin. Within an hour, the young samurai was nodding off. I smiled, but my mind was on something else. Even though I got the position of samurai by a stroke of luck, I was but a ruffian. If a crisis happened, there was a possibility of my subordinates or superiors pinning the blame on me. I needed to have a firm grasp of my situation at all times. For someone of my status, that was a necessity for my continued survival. I used my time off duty to survey the perimeters of the shrine. The entire grounds is protected by a fence made of cedar wood. Even the back door was guarded as thoroughly as the main gate. The level of security was par for the course of for a noble's home. Still, this arrangement seemed a little odd. There was not a single watchtower. It was as though no one expected any attacks from the outside. The deployment was made in such a way as to guard against people from leaving. I spent the first few days standing guard. I did not have a chance to meet Kanna or the court lady serving her. After about 5 days, that court lady came to call upon me. I was in the guard room doing paperwork, or rather, I was in at a loss about what to write. Officer! Wah! I almost spilled my ink. Lively, aren't you? You're too quiet. I failed to sense her presence this time as well. Granted that I was too focused on my work, it was still unbecoming of a warrior to be crept up upon like this. Uraha looked at the blank sheet of paper before me and widened her eyes. My oh my! What's wrong? Are you using invisible ink? Invisible ink? If you use citrus juice in place of ink, someone else who tries to read your letter will be very baffled indeed. No, that's not the problem. If I write with citrus juice, then the recipient won't be able to read it. How about writing in black ink? Or how about writing in black ink a line that states that the rest of the letter is written in citrus juice? Then what's the point? I studied Uraha's face. I could not tell whether she was being serious or joking. So, do you have business with me? After I switched to a more serious tone, Uraha corrected her seating position. There is some issue regarding security that requires your attention. She paused and looked toward the hallway. But it's a direct order from Lady Kanna. I understand. That was more likely a made-up reason for formalities. I put down my brush and stood up. By the way, can you stop calling me officer in the future? Why is that? That sounds too formal. How should I address you then? Just call me Ryuuya. Oh, well then, Sir Ryuuya. Please come this way. Alright. You sure took your time. Kanna looked at me with displeasure. Where were you the past 5 days? I was working. Forget about your work, it's meaningless. What a worthless man. It's your brain that's worthless. Oh, a villainy fool like you dares to insult my intelligence? How laughable! There now, Lady Kanna, Uraha interrupted us. Sir Ryuuya, your behavior is unbecoming of a grown-up. Her gentle... remonstration, brought me back. Oh, that was funny. I seemed to lose myself whenever I talked to Kanna. Forgive me. Good, I accept your apology. I wasn't apologizing to you. Don't lie to yourself. I'm willing to forgive your past insolence. Oh, I truly am benevolent. Further argument would be pointless, so I changed the topic. So, what did you want with me? Sit down first. I flumped myself on the floor and sat cross-legged. Uraha held the hem of her clothes and sat down beside me. Uraha kept complaining about how boring it is with just the two of us. So I made an exception and allow you to join us. You should be grateful. Is that true? That's not true, of course. Lady Kanna had been thinking about you these past few days. She kept asking when you were going to visit. Uraha seemed to have sensed Kanna's concerns, and so she summoned me. That's not true! Uraha must have misunderstood. Uraha ignored Kanna's complaints and asked me calmly, Are we bothering you? No, I don't mind. But what's the point of the three of us coming together? An image appeared in my mind. A secret rendezvous in a bedroom, with a beautiful green-haired court lady and a noble lady. I glanced at Kanna. She seemed more strange than noble. I can tell that you're having insolent thoughts about me right now. Well, let's forget about your appearance for a minute. But could you please do something about your strange manner of speech? What's so strange about my speech? For a start, the way you address yourself as yo. She talked like how one of the nobility or warrior class would. That was originally appropriate given her status, but for her to use the male manner of speech was downright queer. Lady Kanna was already speaking like that when I started serving her. Uraha forced a smile. Then how should I address myself? You should use motto or warawa. But I'm yo. Whoops. But I'm yo, not motto or nor warawa. You're not making any sense. I have no need for sense. Why are you sighing? I'm jealous of you. Why? You're talking to Lady Kanna like close friends. Do we look like we are close friends? Uraha certainly had an optimistic disposition. Yes, very much so. I had expected her to say that. Besides, you're the only one who doesn't treat Lady Kanna any differently even after learning of her status. He's indeed a strange man. Not any stranger than you are. What Uraha said reminded me that I had work to do. I should head back soon. I stood up and Uraha did the same. Could you keep Lady Kanna company for a little while longer? A messenger is waiting for me. That being said, the letter I was due to send off was still a blank piece of paper. Kanna, who had been silent all this while, finally said in a subdued tone, Do come again. My integrity will be questioned if I keep coming here. I bowed once and turned to leave. Then Kanna said to me, Do you think I'm strange? As strange as me, I replied to her as such. Kanna seemed content with my answer. Be sure to come again, you hear? She turned away after saying that. I noticed that I forgot she was a winged being whenever I talked to her. The boring tasks resumed. As I became familiar with this place, I started to get a hang of the situation. There was one thing that bothered me. The morale of the guards was too low. Watch duties and patrol were both done in a haphazard fashion. This situation was the same for the court ladies. I wondered if they were even carrying out their duties to see Kanna's needs. Or to see to Kanna's needs. It was clear that no one in the shrine cared about their work. However, the guards' negligence did work to my advantage. It became a habit to visit Kanna daily. Kanna, are you really a winged being? What? You don't believe me? In that case, I don't understand the behavior of everyone here. Winged beings were said to be from the heavens. In times of famine or disease, they would pray to the gods with their heavenly powers. In other words, they were able to negotiate directly with the gods in our stead. Even though she wore the Shrine Maiden's attire, she was worlds apart from an ordinary Shrine Maiden. You're not getting the treatment you deserve. She seemed to understand what I was implying inside. I don't understand either. It's been like this for me all along. Besides, I'm not a messenger of the gods. But you have wings. Having wings doesn't mean I'm a messenger of the gods. That's true. Crickets and grasshoppers have wings as well. Are you comparing me to crickets? Mosquitoes and flies have wings as well. That's even worse! But that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys. I'm so excited. I love this part. With Kanna and Ryuuya and Uraha, this is like literally my favorite part. Well, okay, second favorite part. The true ending is actually my favorite part. I cannot wait to see it in the game. So anyways, that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys. So if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already subscribed, by subscribing you're becoming part of a legacy. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!